Hello. Thank you for joining me for my very first podcast. I'm Keisha. I am against all forms of slavery. I am in favor of voluntary servitude. I understand that some people cannot grasp the concept of individual freedom and liberty. A lot of people come through on my social media pages to argue with me about my opinions. So instead of going back and forth constantly, I decided to put forth that effort in verbally explaining why or how I've arrived where I am today. I guess I can start with me first being questioned with my religious faith. I was a Christian at one time, and someone challenged me on that. And in order for me to try to prove them wrong, it sent me on this deep search to do so. And during that search, I realized that I may have been wrong. And since then, I've evolved to a place where I'm able to very comfortably say that I just don't know. Is there an archaic God as described in these religious texts? I don't think so. Is there a creator outside of what we know to be true? It is very possible. There's no way for any of us to know that. So to deny that there is a creator is just as absurd to me as to proclaim that there absolutely is one. That journey took me on another journey where I questioned all types of authority and what amount of my life should be surrendered to a deity, whether imaginary or real. This to me is just another religion. I call it politricks. um, no one is coming to save you. In fact, they are there to exploit you. They've created an organization and have brainwashed the masses to think that it's anything more than a criminal organization. They have themselves legitimized and positioned themselves as the authority over the rest of us. And they put these puppets in front of us and try to convince us that these guys are the ones that are pulling all the strings. And when I really sat and I thought about it, I don't think any of these politicians even ever wrote a bill, read one, let alone wrote one. I believe the industries passed these rules down to be just relayed to us by these politicians. So I believe that the choice of a ruler is an illusion. The same people are and maybe always will be in charge, at least their families. This is a family affair. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that, but I believe that is where we need to start. We can't keep allowing these ruling classes of people to divide us and think anything is going to change for the better. In fact, with each passing administration, more and more of your rights are being stripped away. Rights that you were born with. They convince you that you have to ask for them, but you should be insisting that they stop violating them. No one can give you rights, and we should stop asking for permission to do things that we, in fact, have rights to do as human beings. I've been called a conspiracy theorist just because I advocate for freedom, because I don't recognize or acknowledge the ruling class as my legitimate masters. People say, well, if they're not in charge, someone else will be. You know, that may be true, but it's not because of the people that are positioning themselves to be in charge. It's because of the people that believe in them, that have been convinced that they have a right to do so. Without willful subjects, there would be no ruling class. I'm not afraid of those guys that are barking the orders. I'm afraid of the people that follow them and do their bidding.